Thank you, Honourable Speaker. We thank the Honourable Member for the question. Honourable Speaker, meningococcal infection outbreak was declared in Fiji on the 20th of March 2018. The infection was noted to be prevalent among our young, aged 1 to 19 years. And cases were identified from almost all medical subdivisions on the two main islands in Fiji, and also on the island of Libuka and Kandawa. The identified strain causing the outbreak in Fiji was meningococcal type C. And there are different strains that are causing infections around the world, and for Fiji it was type C. The vaccination campaign, Honourable Speaker, was one of the strategies to control the meningococcal infection outbreak in Fiji. Honourable Speaker, the decision for the vaccination campaign was endorsed by the Fijian government, the Fiji First government. The vaccination campaign commenced on the 14th of May 2018 and ended on the 31st of October 2018. The goal of the campaign was to keep our target population healthy and risk-free, and this is our young. And the main objective was to stop the spread of the deadly meningococcal infection by vaccinating all children aged 1 to 19 years in Fiji. Honourable Speaker, the target population of 1 to 19 years, according to our data then, was 309,145. All children aged 1 to 19 years with this campaign were to be vaccinated, except those who have been vaccinated at St. John's College Libuka in 2017, Labisau Secondary School in April 2018, vaccination by the general practitioners or otherwise in the years 2017 or 2018 with written proof of vaccination or informed, validated by parents or guardians, Kioa Island and Lambasa Sangam Nursing School. The campaign was launched on the 11th of May 2018 and started with the Central Division and Ra Medical Subdivision on 14th May 2018. The Western Health Services commenced on the 10th of August and the North Health Services on the 20th of August. The Eastern Health Services on the 13th of August, and the mass campaign ended on the 31st of October 2018. Honourable Speaker, the Ministry responded by strengthening the clinical management of the principal cases and their contexts. There was increased communications during the period, raising awareness of the disease, its prevention and precautionary measures to be undertaken by the public, and awareness of the vaccination itself. The outbreak was also coinciding with the national major sporting events for our children, the athletics finals, for example. So the Ministry worked in collaboration with the sporting event organizers to conduct inspection of billeting sites, have informed booths to provide communication materials for the people coming to watch the games, especially the school children, also getting Men-See adverts to be displayed periodically on the big TV screens on the stadium. Honourable Speaker, there was enhanced active surveillance to confirm diagnosis early and also confirm the strain causing the infection by our surveillance team. Vaccination was provided for long-term protection by the Ministry and employed 3 different types of delivery for the vaccination. The first was ring fencing. This is the type of vaccination that included the principal who had the infection and the people around him or her, example, the village in Kioa and the Lambasa Sangam Nursing School. Number 2, ad hoc, those who bought their own vaccines and from pharmacies and advised to go to the nearest health center. And 3, which we conducted, was a mass nationwide campaign. Honourable Speaker, the target population by the Ministry was 309,145. I am pleased to inform this August House that we vaccinated 281,044 of our children. Unvaccinated was 28,101. Our percentage vaccination was 91%, one of the best in the world in a very short time. The percentage unvaccinated is 9.9%. Of all the children in the school, all 100% of them were vaccinated. Honourable Speaker, the Ministry will continue to provide Men-See vaccination to all children reaching the age of 1 and for all those who are eligible but have not been vaccinated. And we are using our contacts in the field, all our facilities, to be able to try and ascertain these children of ours and ensure they have this protective vaccination done. Honourable Speaker, much appreciation goes to the Fiji Military Forces for allocating drivers for the Ministry for the campaign. Work was made easier by the Ministry's team due to the efficiency of how they provided their duties. And they provided the logistical support for us to be able to take our teams to some of the most remote areas in the highlands and in the islands, to be able to reach our children and protect them from menacing. The ministry would like to acknowledge those that have contributed to the success, the government and the cabinet for being courageous to conduct this vaccination campaign and the funds to go with it. I take this opportunity to also sincerely acknowledge the tremendous support of all our multi-sectoral stakeholders, ranging from the donor agency, namely World Health Organization, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Australia, UNFPA, UNICEF, and the International Coordinating Group, ICG, that have provided collaborative support in a timely and transparent manner. Government ministries and departments, the staff in my ministry that were involved in the campaign, and lastly to the parents and guardians for all those targeted populations for giving their consent for the vaccination of our children. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.